Aaron Rodgers declared his intention to play for the New York Jets in 2023. Are the Green Bay Packers holding him hostage, though? Let's talk about it. Well, welcome back to New York Sports WickerMedia. I'm WattsUK99. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to watch these videos. So the landmark event took place today, the anticipated Aaron Rodgers appearance on the Pat McAfee show, and Aaron Rodgers declared his intention, quote, to play for the New York Jets. And it's fascinating to think that going into his darkness retreat, he was 90% sure he was going to retire. He was so convinced that he was ready to go, but he had to make sure, he had to know where he was mentally and physically. And over that 4 to 5 day period, things changed. He realized the Packers, they wanted to move on. The Packers are initiating the separation, and that can't be overemphasized enough. It's not Aaron Rodgers who wanted out first. The Green Bay Packers wanted rid of Aaron Rodgers. So once that happened, I think that the doubt that the Packers apparently have in Rodgers, I think that has fueled the fire inside of him, and he wants to prove them wrong. I think that's what it's really all about. Now, I know he said he's got a lot of love for the Packers, for the region, and understandably so. I mean, he had one of the absolute greatest quarterback runs that you could ever have, one of the best we'll ever see, but he realizes that he's got something more to prove in his career. And you know what? I want to thank markmurphy. I want to thank the Green Bay Packers organization for fueling a fire inside Aaron Rodgers to make him realize he still wants to play, that he still has something to prove, and he still wants to win. Aaron Rodgers, I think deep down in his soul, knows a second Super Bowl ring will do wonders for him, for his career and his legacy, and I do believe that is something he is sensitive about. So now, everything seems to be in place. The Jets want Aaron Rodgers. They're the only team really in the sweepstakes for him. Aaron Rodgers has declared he wants to be a Jet. The Green Bay Packers clearly want to move on from him. So why is there a holdup? From everything that Rodgers said today, it's all on the Packers dragging their feet. The Packers are dragging their feet so hard right now that their shoes are creating skid marks on the street right now. All over the streets of Wisconsin, through Milwaukee and Green Bay and Oshkosh and Madison, and oh my gosh, it's absolutely insane what's going on. But here's the thing, we don't know when this is going to end. I was feeling pretty confident that everything would be resolved by the beginning of free agency, around the beginning of the league year, which as I speak right now, it's Wednesday night. The new league started at 4 p.m. As I record this, it's about 9:30. So it really seemed that just so these two teams could have an off season, it made sense for all parties to resolve the matter as quickly as possible. Well, here's the thing. Green Bay has until September 1st to decide if they want to pick up that $58.3 million option bonus on Rodgers' contract. So they still have, 5.5 months to make that decision? Basically the start of the actual regular season. The best thing going for the Jets is that no other team is in the sweepstakes. All these other teams have signed quarterbacks. Jimmy Garoppolo went to the Raiders. Baker Mayfield went to the Bucs. Derek Carr went to the Saints. And the teams that haven't filled their quarterback needs through free agency, it's going to be in the draft. The Indianapolis, Carolina, those types of teams. Houston as well. So to me, I feel like neither team really has leverage. It's just a staring contest. And the question is, who is going to blink? And knowing Joe Douglas, Jets general manager, like we as Jets fans would, I don't feel very confident that he's going to get hoodwinked. You can say what you want about Joe Douglas, that his free agent signings haven't worked out. Some of the drafts have been, a little spotty. I think most general managers have a few draft picks they'd like to take back over their careers. But if you look at the trades that he has made in these spots, for the Sam Darnold trade, the Jamal Adams trade, the Chris Herndon trade, actually getting something in return for Blake Cashman, which is remarkable. The 6th-round pick they're going to have this season. Joe Douglas knows how to make trades that cannot be debated by anybody. So the truth of the matter is we have no idea when this is going to play out. It's a situation where the Jets have to go on with their offseason. You know, to me, it's 99% sure they're going to get Aaron Rodgers. I'm just not ready to go, pop open the champagne bottle, light a cigar, whatever people want to do. I'm not ready to streak around the neighborhood naked and say, the Jets got Aaron Rodgers! I'm not ready to do that yet. This has to still be finalized. And even then, there is still a lot of work to do on this team before I can anoint them as a legitimate Super Bowl contender. They're on their way up, but there is more work to do. And here's the thing, there is no timetable where the Packers have to get this done up until towards the end of the offseason. So who's going to blink? The Packers are not going to want an over $30 million dead cap hit by keeping Rodgers on their roster this season. It's just bad business. They've got Jordan Love in place. I'm sure they wish that, some random team like Miami or whoever would call them up and say, you know what, let's jump in those Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes. But it's not the case. It's not reality. So as much as Aaron Rodgers has given Green Bay, and considering that the Green Bay front office wanted the separation to happen first, they're the ones who initiated this, then they should do what's right and get the trade done. I don't doubt that Joe Douglas is willing to give up some decent compensation for one of the absolute greatest quarterbacks in the history of the sport. But for the Packers to drag their feet and to do Aaron Rodgers dirty like this, it's getting absolutely ridiculous. So my hope is this gets done quickly, we can all move on, and that then, as football fans, we can focus on the draft, focus on what's left of free agency, and really starting to put a roster together, figure out what this offense is going to look like. What an offseason it is turning out to be. I know free agency hasn't been overly exciting yet for the New York Jets. I wonder if there's some players who are just waiting on the Rodgers thing for it to all come down. And now that he made his speech on the Pat McAfee show, maybe that gives some of these free agents a little more incentive to sign with the Jets because they're confident that he is going to be a Jet. It's going to be fascinating to watch. Well, those are my thoughts. I want to hear what you have to say. Leave me something in the comments below. Thanks, everybody, for watching. I'll see you back here with more content from you know where. The Wicker Chair.